So you want to get into running. I'm primarily known as a fashion content creator, but I grew up doing endurance sports. That included running and triathlon. I was very competitive until I was about 18, and then I took a break to focus on gaining some size. I was a very skinny kid growing up, so I wanted to get bigger. I did bodybuilding, I did powerlifting, I lifted a ton of weights, and I had a great time doing it. During that period, there were a few times I tried to get started again with running, and I failed every time. Recently, I've gotten back into it again, and I've finally succeeded in rediscovering the love that I had for it from when I was younger. Given that experience, here are 5 things you can do as a beginner runner to discover your own love for the sport and really enjoy your time with it. These are all helpful, but I'm saving the one that's had the greatest impact on me for last. The first and most important for your very first steps into the sport is to ease into it. Not everyone is ready to start running right away. It might be better to walk first. It might be better to ease into longer runs as you go on. It might be better to not even push the pace for a long time until your body's acclimated to it. I've injured myself multiple times, we're talking 2 or 3 times now, from pushing the pace and pushing my distance way too early in my training. It got to the point where I had to spend 6 weeks doing a recovery and reintroduction program because I injured my knee so badly. So if I could go back in time, I would have spent a lot more time walking and run walking before jogging and eventually fully running at speed. Number 2, do not go crazy with your gear at first. A lot of the clothes I wear to run are actually hand-me-downs or pieces I've had since I was in high school. They last for a long time if you take good care of them, and it doesn't matter if you have the best clothes, the best gear, when you're just starting out and seeing if you like the sport. Of course, as you go, it's great to reward yourself with nicer things. For example, a good running watch. This is a Garmin Forerunner 935. My dad got it for me as a gift when I finished high school, and it's been a huge plus for my running since. The one critical piece of gear that I think you should really invest in once you're past the walking phase is a good pair of shoes. I run in the Nike Pegasus 39. It's a wonderful shoe. I love how it works for me. But when I say get a good pair of running shoes, I mean go to your local running store and talk to the people there to get fit with the best shoe for you. They'll take a look at your stride, they'll analyze the anatomy of your foot, they will incorporate any injuries you have or might have had recently into getting you a protective shoe if you need it. It is absolutely worth it to spend a couple hours there and get fit with the best shoe you can. Try on a bunch and just pick your favorite. Number 3, find a training plan, try it out, and then adapt it to yourself. For the half marathon I'm training for, I'm literally using the 10-week plan. I don't know if it's showing up. The 10-week plan from halfmarathons.net to get me started. I began using the plan. I found that instead of the 5 runs a week they did, I prefer 3 and I like doing longer distances, so I adapted it to myself. But I gave it a couple weeks, I tried it out, and then I figured out what I needed to do for my body and adapted it to fit what I wanted. This is only after you've gotten comfortable with running consistently for a couple miles and selected the distance you might want to do in the future. But having a plan that you follow and staying accountable with it, even if it's one that you've modified for yourself, is absolutely critical to keeping you consistent and staying healthy with your running. Number 4, set small goals, and when you achieve them, reward yourself. I mentioned picking a distance you might want to do in the future. As you get closer and closer to that, you might want to celebrate each time you get another mile further in your long run of the week. For example, I did 7 miles this week, which is the furthest I've gone on my training program so far. So for the occasion, my friend and I drove out to this really cool reservoir and ran around it for the entire run. It was lovely to have him there, it was lovely to be somewhere beautiful, and it made it such a good experience all around. And that gave me so much motivation to move forward and keep working hard with my training to get to my goal of this race. So little rewards like that at important milestones are an amazing way to stay motivated and to feel very happy about what you're doing. Before we get to the last one, a quick honorable mention to something that should be universal for any sport, for any activity. It's not just for running, which is why I didn't put it in the numbered parts of this list, but it's just to take good care of yourself while you're training. If you're not sleeping and eating well, you're not recovering well, and you're just gonna put your body in a hole where you can get sick, you can get injured, it's just a bad time. I've done this to the extent that I've been sick to the point of going to the hospital, so I really hope no one else gets in that situation. Always, always, always listen to your body and take care of yourself. The number one thing that's kept me motivated during all my runs, I visualize it all the time, I think about it a lot, even when I'm not running, I'm still excited about it, is the race I've signed up for with my friends. I know that barring injury or some other unpredicted event, I have to show up on that day and run 13.1 miles. So I can't slack in my training, I have to put the effort in. Knowing that I have to be there at the end has kept me so much more motivated than just saying, I'll run when I feel like it, or I'll run when it's fun. Because it's not always fun, it doesn't always feel good. Some days are hard, and you might be pushing really hard, and that might not feel good during that day. But that's so important for growth and so important to becoming a better runner. So approaching those hard sessions with the goal in mind, with the idea of, I'm gonna finish this race, it's gonna be the best day, my friends will be there, I'll have people cheering me on, it's gonna be so much fun. That makes all of those runs worth it. That race probably shouldn't be something like the Boston Marathon, which is a huge goal for tons of runners, but very hard to qualify for. It should be something achievable, like a park run or a 5K. I really recommend 5Ks. They're such a great way to get started. Very chill, very approachable, but still a good challenge and something to be proud of. Once you sign up for that race, you are locked in. So don't let yourself slack. Don't say you're not gonna do it. If you do it, you commit fully and you go for it, and it's gonna be the best time. I figured all those things out from trial and error, but now that I'm back and I'm really enjoying my running, I'm not injured, I'm not getting injured, it's been so clear to me that those 5 things are the things I've needed to do to get back to this point. I hope that's helpful for you. Let me know how your running is going in the comments, and if you want to stay updated with my running journey, definitely keep up with me on TikTok, Instagram, and here on YouTube. Race day for me is in early April. I forget the exact date right now, but it's a Sunday and I'm very excited. More than that, I have big running plans for the future, so I'm excited to take you along with me. Thank you for being here, and as always, have a great day.